Hello, good people. My name's Sean from Bulgaria. Currently in Bulgaria. For those who don't know, that's the first video in English on this channel, by the way. But I just want to introduce myself, share some of my experience. Look at that view, guys. Right now is the end of December, almost New Year. But you can see it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's quite sunny. Still not bad for end of December, I guess. I just want to experiment with that video because if you see my channel, I used to do videos in my mother tongue. Sorry if my English is not 100% perfect, but I guess you can understand me quite well. So, today's video, I want to talk about the rat race. As many as you know, the rat race as a term. I want to get deeply into that topic. Right now, I'm living in a village in Bulgaria, about 8 kilometers from the border with Greece. And I want to talk about the pluses and minuses living that kind of life, share a little bit more about my experience so you can get deeper to the topic and understand me quite well. Right now, look at that view. Look. Amazing. Come on, boy. Come on. Think to get into the forest. I don't know if you hear me well, because I didn't take the microphone as always. I just don't want to bother with it. And it's quite windy at the moment. But let's talk about the rat race. I lived in the UK for about 10 years. I moved back to Bulgaria not even 2 years ago, about a year and 8-9 months. And from about a year, I achieved the dream to live in the mountains, to live in a quiet village with a lot of nature around, a lot of sun that I can benefit from. By the way, the sun is just setting down right now, so we don't have much time. But I want to speak about the rat race. Oh man, I didn't choose the right time to shoot a video, but I guess there's never a right time, never a perfect time. Time is always what we are doing right here, right now. So, as I said, I've been living in the UK for about 10 years, trying to achieve something. Most of the time, not sure what. But as many of you know, first, the UK is not what it used to be. Second, the bloody weather there. The bloody weather, it's kind of depressing. It's just the kind of lifestyle that I lived. I'm not complaining, but it's like work, home most of the time, as the weather it's not very good for doing anything else much. Right now, still, even today in this windy weather with cooling breeze, still can't complain. I've been dreaming for living in the mountains for quite some time. And as much as I fulfilled some of my other dreams when I've been living in the UK, I wasn't really happy. I was feeling empty inside. By the way, happiness, it's something very abstractive because you can be happy today, sad tomorrow, and that's okay. That's part of life. But I couldn't see myself living in the UK for the long term. Even if I had a house mortgage for a house, I could afford most of the things that I wanted to afford: cars, motorcycles, holidays, not looking at the prices in the shops, as a lot of Eastern Europeans are familiar with that feeling. So I couldn't complain. I had my partner there, my house, all of that. Pretty decent life. Not perfect, but decent. But something was missing. I couldn't feel really settled. I couldn't feel my soul was suffering inside. Even if now when I moved back to Bulgaria with all the corruption and money is not that great, I still think I live a bit more balanced life here between these mountains. Life is moving slower, not working as hard as I used to work in the UK, not working as many hours as I used to do, not doing the overtimes. I can feel that I have really much more balanced life right now, with all the pluses and the minuses. But what is really the rat race? The rat race is, for me especially, I can speak from my experience, from my understanding, the rat race is waking up tired every day, every morning annoyed, going to work, traveling to work, going to work, going back from work, and living for basically waiting for the weekends and for the holidays. I guess that's the rat race. You can also say that the rat race is always chasing money, but never feeling free. Always wanted the new phones, new cars, and all of that. New model, new of shoes, the more expensive jacket and stuff like this. And excuse me, that first video in English, it's a bit chaotic and it's more like introducing myself than actually speaking on the topic. But have to start from somewhere. If not now, when? I mean, who really cares? Who will care after not even years, couple or months, couple of days or so? So yeah, with the time I've been dreaming about living in a quiet rural area. Even that I knew that if I move back to Bulgaria, I knew that there's not much job around. I knew all the negatives of coming back to my country, but I knew all the positives as well. I never looked for luxury life or materialistic life. All the time that I could afford everything, most of the things that I wanted, basically, in my life, I didn't feel satisfied, actually. I mean, maybe I was looking to people like achieving something, but deep inside me, I couldn't feel satisfied from that. I mean, let's say you want a new car, or start from somewhere, even from new shoes when you're younger and poor, but then you get the things you want, you get the chick you want, you get the motorbikes you want, the holidays you want, all that stuff you wanted, but still something feels off, something feels wrong. And one of the things was the energy. Well, UK wasn't my place. I mean, I'm thankful for the experience that it gave me, but never felt like home, never felt like place where my soul feels free. Always felt suppressed. As many of you knows, the UK is a bit of robotic country, has mentality and all that, and the last years is getting worse and worse. But right now, for example, as you can see, there's one mountain, there's another one with these snowy peaks, if you can see. At the other side, it's another one in Greece, which you can see from up the hill if we walk there. Beach, it's like an hour 20 minutes away, so with the car, so it's not that bad. Have a lot of lakes around, rivers. So even now at the end of December, as you can see, it's not bad. I mean, over there or over there, if you see, if I want to go to the snowy peaks, for example, they are about 50 minutes away. If I want to go to the river, that's about 5-10 minutes away with the car. A lot of reservoirs and all that, a lot of forests. So yeah, sorry that the video is a bit chaotic, but just sharing my thoughts with you. And I dreamed about that. And to continue with the story, one day I just decided to move on. I didn't have any idea where I'll move, which area. Which area I'll move to. I just imagine in my head something similar, and one day I just decided to risk it all and say, F it, why not sell my house in England and just move back and see, without any plan. I mean, I had to sell or give away a lot of my belongings, had to change car, I bought a caravan so I can take the rest of my things, because it's quite expensive to send them over. And we both quit our jobs with my partner, and we just decided, let's go on a trip. First, we drove from the UK to Poland, because my partner is from Poland, and we just left our things, all our stuffs there, our belongings, our cats, even, so they could take care of them, our caravan, our car, all of that. We decided to took a 1 month trip to, around Thailand, Malaysia. At that moment, we never been there before, so we say, why not? That's the perfect moment. Right now we are jobless, homeless, so we are not losing anything to experience that moment. So we decided to take a trip. And why I'm saying all that, just to see my perspective about the rat race and escaping the rat race. So we've been around Thailand for a month. It started to get boring even at the end. So there was about 35-6 degrees, humidity, as many of you know. And we've been around Malaysia, and then we get back to Poland. As I forgot to say, actually, we left the UK in the beginning of January, 5th January. So we drove. First time I drove a car with a caravan, basically. And we drove from the UK to Poland. There it was snowing on the way through France and Germany. It was snowing. It was quite an experience. We drove about in the snow. We drove about 40 hours till we get to Poland. So it was quite cold in Poland as well in the beginning of January. Then with the backpack, we go to Thailand. We fly to Thailand, and there was 36 degrees. Then after a month, we came back to Poland, and there was minus 20 degrees, and we had to go all the way to Bulgaria as well. And we really didn't know yet where we will live, what we will work, and all of that. Sit down, sit down, sit down. We really didn't. Sorry about that. We really did. Come here. We really didn't know what will work, where we will live, and all of that. So we just decided to go to book an Airbnb in the second largest city in Bulgaria, as personally I don't like Sofia, the first one. So we booked an Airbnb for a week in Plovdiv, the second largest city in Bulgaria. And I just started looking for a job, and after a short time I found a job from in an office. To be honest, in the UK, when I've been living in the UK, I always been working like more physical jobs and that. I found a job in the office working for a German bank, online bank and trading platform. So that was okay for the moment. But still, deep inside me, I had a mission. I knew that I want to live around mountains, lakes and all that in a quiet area. So basically a place that my soul can rest. Slow living. So I worked a couple of months in that company, and I told them that I want to work remotely, as they could see my results. So they accept my offer and they let me to work from home. So in the next moment, I worked from home about couple of weeks. I told them that I have to move from that city, but basically I didn't move yet. I was still living there and I didn't know where I'm going. But basically I told them that I already have to move. So in the next couple of weeks, I just started looking for a place. I still wasn't sure where I'm going, if to go around that city or around this mountain or the other mountain. So I just followed my intuition at the moment. I've been looking to buy a house for a couple of months before that, but I couldn't find the right place. So one day I just checked on the maps and I just decided that I want to see that place that I mentioned. It's next to the city of Goce Delchev, and it's quite small village, and the village is about 8 kilometers from the border with Greece. So that's perfect because basically you're a bit up in the mountains, but in the same time not very far from the beach as well. Plus, as not many of the people know, there are mountains, beautiful mountains and lakes around Greece as well. So it's quite a bit of both worlds, the life in Bulgaria and the life in Greece. So I just decided to come for a weekend here on a holiday, and I just like the place a lot. From the first moment that we drove around, it just felt like home, like a place that I can live peacefully. So I took all my belongings one more time. That's in the period of a couple of months, and we just rented a flat here in the beginning, so we can start looking for a house to buy. And the other thing, what we decided from the experience of looking to buy a house, was that the location is more important than the price of the house. And the other thing was that it's better to live in a certain location for for some time, so that then you can decide if you really want to live there or not. Not just to buy a house somewhere and you don't have any idea. Like a lot of British people, and not only, what I see that they're doing is they're just looking for a cheap house in Bulgaria, but they don't have any idea which area is better, which is worse. But they're just looking for a cheap house. A lot of them are even buying houses before even being in the area, which in my opinion it's wrong, because you have to visit the area, you have to even rent a flat for some time in the area, so that you can really feel if you want to live there, if it's point to stay in that area or not. So we lived a couple of months here, and in that time in the first few weeks or a month we wasn't looking for any house. After that we said, okay, it's time to start looking. We think that's the place, and we start looking for a house. The next moment we found a beautiful renovated refurbished house in which in a small quiet village here, between a couple of mountains. As you can see, from every side there is mountains, forest, mountains, and you can see mountains from all over. And basically like that, I was thinking everything is fine. I just said myself, I sort everything, I'll not have any more problems anymore. But no, in the next moment, the company that I've been working for informed us that they're moving to India, as the labor is cheaper there. So the first moment I was shocked. I felt like an earthquake shake me. Okay, I live in a very beautiful area. I thought I escaped the rat race for which we were talking in the beginning. But then I've been shocked. I said, what I'm going to do now? There's not much job in the area. Salary is not great. What I'm going to do? So I just said, okay, I need to relax now. I don't need to think that much in the future. And I just need to believe, hope, and trust in God's work that He'll sort everything for me and I don't need to worry. So I took a couple of months off. We traveled around. We explored the area even more. I had the time off. And then I started looking for a job. Then I found another job again in an office as an office administrator. But believe me, in the area, without connections, basically most of Bulgarian mentality is like everything what you need to sort it with connections. And that's one of the issues and the negatives living here. And one of the other ones is that corruption and gray economy. A lot of people are working on contracts, on minimum wage contracts, and they're taking cash in hand, and salaries are not that great. And salaries are not that great. But yeah, I started in that office. I worked there for a month, and they were putting more and more responsibilities on me. But the money really wasn't great, and even demotivating to do that kind of job. And it was I needed to be very focused, concentrated. It was very responsible job. I had to manage the documentations on the whole company, which it was a whole factory with about 100 employees. And as a minus in Bulgaria, you have to I had to remember who it's on a contract, who it's not, who it's on 8 hours, who it paid by bank account, who it's paid in cash, and all that things. So I just quit again. So again, I shook the boat again, and again I had to trust that everything will be fine. And then again I found a job from home, which basically, if some of you were working in the UK, you know that you have some agencies and you start working through an agency, you're not on a full-time contract, and then the job is not even secured, you don't know for how long. But I said I prefer to work from home and to have a more balanced life and more free time and more inner peace than working in that office, on that secured office manager job, looking sound beautiful, right? Office manager. But again, I'm in the rat races every morning. Even if I'm not living in a big city, every morning I need to travel, be there. I need to be the front office. Everyone have to go around me, bother me with all kinds of stuffs, and they want you to do them now, fast. So yeah, as the first time that I moved from the UK back to Bulgaria, that wasn't the thing that I was looking to do. So I decided to have a more quiet, easier job, even not for great money, but to follow the life that I wanted to, the lifestyle that I wanted to in the first place when I moved from the UK back to Bulgaria, to escape that rat race, basically. Because not everything is about money. I mean, here, from 365 days, you have about 300 sunny days per year, if not more. Weather is beautiful. Even at this time, at the end of December, weather is beautiful. And even today it's cooler, by the way, so I'm a little bit dressed, but the other days when it's sunnier, it's even warmer. And quality of food is better. I have my village neighbors, most of them old people. All summer they grew vegetables and stuffs, and they make homemade rakia and wine. And it's not about the money that much. It's not about the materialistic life. It's about the lifestyle, the balanced lifestyle, and the inner peace that you get from living in such a place, not rushing and living that slow life. I remember first when I moved around from the bigger city, I just had so much time. I mean, till 12 in the noon, I finish with all my tasks, for example, everything what I need to do in my day off, and then I'm free. And time is just moving slow. It's just that kind of slow living, which I love, which it's you can't buy with money. So yeah, I'll be interested to share your thoughts in the comments for who is watching that video by now. And again, thank you for watching. I shared my experience with you. Was my first video in English, but why not? Who cares? Fuck it. And that's it. Write me in the comments what's your opinion about the rat race? What's your dreams? And have you achieved your dreams, similar kind of dreams? And that's it. Thank you. See you next time.